Jordan, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, man. Trying to decide if this hurricane's coming for us or not.
I know. I hear you. And that's something we'll definitely be touching base on towards the end of this call as well. Just kind of giving everyone an update of what's going on with the Florida fulfillment and, just our prayers and thoughts for everyone that's going to be affected by that hurricane. So, definitely sympathize for you guys and, hope and we're praying that everyone's going to be okay on your guys' end over there. So I know everyone's batting down the hatches and preparing. So, stay safe. So anyways, Jordan, I mean, you've been on this board for a couple months now on the leaderboards, and just, I'd like you to voice, what you're doing, what's, looking back at where you're at now and where you started, what's been some key points or key contributing factors that have helped you build your business up, to this point to where, you're doing the 6.3 million a month, 31 units. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. You talking about the inception or just like how the markets have changed and building out a network?
Yeah, the markets are obviously shifting for all of us. Just what are you doing? Now, just looking back at where you started, what's been the biggest thing to contribute to your success? Obviously you've had to evolve just as much as all of us, going with the TRID and all that, the CFPB rules, everything's always changing. So, has it just been constant communication with, referral partners? I know you're really boots on the floor out there. So, kind of just, if you could, just share a little bit with us.
A lot of it, man, is the one biggest thing I think is technology. You have to make sure that you're not like, I recruit a bit, but I never really hired too much on a loan officer front just because they've been branded the wrong way. You have to like reset their IQ mentally. A lot of them still want to play golf, and I hear this daily. How are you going to get business? Or a loan officer will come in and say, well, I did 3 million in 2007. That's phenomenal, but what are you doing right now? Well, I'm going to get back in the business. That's interesting. So how are you going to market yourself? Well, I'm going to buy leads. Okay, so you're going to spend $5,000 a month and not close a deal for 90 days or 120 days, or what's your CRM? What are you using? How are you optimizing? What are your analytics? It goes pretty deep. From when I started, we were doing paper applications. I was literally cold calling as a telemarketer.
Right.
So it's completely changed, and to use, there's pieces of technology that PRMG hands out, and I'm on the phone with marketing with Paul Lucido all the time, and with KP, and looking through it. There's phenomenal technology that we have. It's just utilizing it. There's another thing where you don't have enough time, which I completely understand. So therein lies your team. There's branch managers that are great and they're doing phenomenal for us and with us, and they have big teams, and there's all of how you want to be or how you want to be grown or groomed through the process. My model is a bit different than most, and I'm more like a task force, and I want a close team around me where I'm not so loan officer centric, just because I've been on the leader, whatever company I've been in, the model, my team, it's like the quarterback and the lineman. I can't say that I'm doing all this and I'm phenomenal on my team and not even give them any gratitude. I have a great team, but I've carefully recruited who I really want to work with, and it has to be, it's more about loyalty, dedication, personality trait. So you can recruit anybody, but they can come for 2 months and leave. So your processor, how hard do they work? How intelligent are they? Can they save a deal? Can they spin the client so you don't have to get on the phone every 3 minutes? Do you have great assistance? However you're structured, and if it's just a one-off loan officer, how are you going to do that? Your first thing is you got to work with the process that's there. You have to have a seamless communication. If it's referral partner, your referral partners, you have to get realtors that are like you. If you're on a purchase-based model, you can't. If they're into basketball, you got to be into basketball. If they're into football, you got to be into football. You guys, you're talking to each other 24/7, right? So you can't really have personality conflicts. I've had many with agents, and we just didn't work out. But then you're you're marketing with them, and it's not working out, and they're using another lender, and you can't believe it's like breaking up with your girlfriend or boyfriend. You can't believe they went behind your back, but they will. So you have to look closely. Whoever you're targeting, you have to look closely who they are as a person and how you're going to gel with them. Are they battle tested? Did you go through the deal, and did they sell you out in the deal? Did they tell the title company, everybody else, that you're terrible? Or with the client, did they say they have another lender that could do better? Because some agents are great. There's a lot that moonlight, and they don't really know what they're doing. They're doing 3 to 5 deals a year, but you're trusting them to do 3 to 5 deals a year for your reputation. So just be careful with that.
Correct. And you did mention something there that was kind of key. I mean, obviously, we're always trying to improve, and the industry is all migrating to a technology, based platform and increasing it and improving it. I mean, obviously, trying to compete with the rocket mortgages out there. I mean, so what key technology pieces are you using that's kind of contributing to your success as well? I mean, are you using the endorsed platforms that we've got? I mean, I know we've got, Mortgage Map, Mobility RE. I mean, are you taking advantage of those?
Yeah, I mean, Mortgage Map is good. It's worked well. You can share the app, you can put the realtor on it and share through the realtor. The realtor should be sharing. You get the daily updates if your realtors are really putting you out there, or if they're going to the calculator or not. So I definitely look at that. I look at all social forums. Lead marketing, we're into a bunch of lead vendors to see how it's going. Are you going to strike gold? Because I have a lot of branch managers and loan officers that reach out and say, look, I'm going to go with Yelp. And does that, you're closing $6.3 million just because you're doing Yelp and buying Yelp marketing? No, that's the answer. Are you doing one-off marketing company or a lead company? No, you're heavy on referral. You're heavy on we're in a purchase-based market. So you throw some events out there for the clientele. Like you really have to go outside the box. Advisors, and it sounds archaic if you talk about CPAs and advisors, and I get numb when people say that to me, but it does work. You need to have a good CPA, a company. You need to have a good, not one advisor, but advisory company that you work with, because once they say yes, then they endorse the deal over. But your agents are key too. Do you need, like when I started, I was going in, I give this analogy all the time, I would go in and I didn't know any better, so I probably made every error you could probably make in this business. But I would go into the Coldwell Bank or a Remax and walk up and say, hey, I'm here. I want to talk to your agents, and I do 203K loans, or I do mobile homes. Well, the person at the front desk, they're doing floor time. So they're the agent. That doesn't have any business. So I have no business. They have no business, and we're sitting there scratching our heads. But I want to get back to the back, because I think the top producers are sitting back there magically and would love to either tell me no or maybe even give me a tough deal. Even if you get back there, they don't want to talk to you or me. They're going to shut the door. And then they have a preferred lender already. Most big agents, they already have preferred lenders. Don't go with the big agent. You're not going to land them. And if you're a new loan officer, they're going to give you the worst deal ever, a mobile home short sale that will never close, that unapproved, that will never close. So you gotta go after people that are up and coming, so that you get along with. So you really have to go through that and see how they're marketing, what their ideas are, and then connect on the marketing. Because if you don't, you're going to go through and you're just going to be like, I really wouldn't suggest going into real estate offices. I know that's still, I don't understand why people still do that. Again, I made the mistake. I went in there and it was like I got, turned down 50 times to my face, and I walked out with my tail between my legs. But after a couple times, you realize that you don't want to lead in, to each office. And if you're very good at 203Ks, and that's great. If you're very good at home path renovation, that's great. But keep in mind, you're leading in with the hardest deal to do. So if you lead in with that, you're going to be known for that. You do not want to be known as the mobile home king, right? It's going to take forever. Deals don't close, and you get small loan amounts. But if you lead in with the terrible deal, they're going to notice you as the terrible guy. And you do jumbo loans, and you do $400,000, $300,000, $500,000 loans. Like, yeah, I love them. But you just don't want to pigeonhole yourself.
Gotcha. Awesome. And you kind of covered the next question I was going to ask. I mean, for someone who's new that's, getting into the industry at this time, I mean, what kind of advice? I mean, you basically just said, you don't want to be going for the big whales of real estate agents. kind of get someone that's, doing, a couple of deals, maybe 1, 2 every month, or if that. Is there any other advice that you can provide to someone that's, just entering the market or wanting to elevate and take their business to the next level?
Sure. I mean, it's tough, man. Coming into this business is not fun with all the regulation and different concepts and marketing. And if you're coming back to the business, good luck, because you have to figure out what TRID and all these new things and compliance guidelines are and why this happens this way. And if you don't know it and you're talking to agents or clients and they know you don't know, then you're out. They're gonna go somewhere else and you're gone. But as a new agent, when I started, I looked at the top producing agents and if they're in my office or not, I would go there and just say, look, I just want to be your junior. I'll take you to lunch every day, whatever I need to do, but I need to figure this out. Will you help me? And a lot of the guys will help you. I mean, there's other top producers on the board, but they'll definitely jump in. If they're in the office, mirror their models. I mean, I'm huge on team. Like in my office, it's everything. You dive on a grenade for your teammate. So if you get on the phone and you don't pump up your teammate, like if this is my processor, like my processor's phenomenal. You'll love working with them. But like every time it's got to be team. So if you're a one-off loan officer, I suggest jumping on a team within the branch. I mean, if your branch manager allows it, I'm all for it, because it's really tough to get in and be new to the business and be thrown a $400,000 deal if you do get lucky enough to grab one, and then you're up at nights, you can't sleep because you're so nervous that you might mess it up, and it's your first deal with a realtor. But you really need to know what you're doing and get your marketing set however you want to market yourself. Some people are great on webinars. Some people are great on seminars. Others are great at lead marketing, referral marketing, whatever is your strengths. Like, I'm not a big guy that goes out to happy hours. I cannot deal with it. There's some, that are phenomenal at it. I don't like doing it. I want to go in, and from my marketing that I may do, I could probably grab a lot more deals behind the scenes, like as a trader versus the other kind. However, some guys go in there and they're the mayor of the room, and they go in there and they have 4 realtors in there they're targeting. They're great. Realtors love them. They're very social. So it depends on your personality. It depends what type of marketing you need to actually strike on.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've got a big credit box, so it just depends on the appetite and what you're kind of, being a perfectionist at. So, hey, Jordan, I appreciate you, coming on and sharing with us and with everyone, your experiences and your advice. So, hopefully, those of you out there, taking notes down, and, Jordan's always available to take any calls or anything like that. So if you need to just bounce something off, I mean, he's a big team player, and he's more than willing to help in any way he can. So, again, Jordan, appreciate you. Thank you.